excuse me, with a quote from James Allen, and we'll see where we go today. Super fired up to be here. Super fired up to be alive and going. Let's do this. Let's make a difference in the people in the world and sharing what we know. All right. Share the screen. All right. Here's a quote for today from Daily Meditations of James Allen for every day of the year. Every holy man is a savior of mankind. When men lost in the devious ways of error and self have forgotten the heavenly birth, the state of holiness and truth they set up artificially standards are by which to judge one another. So when you forget who you are, your true identity, as James Clear would put it, you set up artificial standards to judge people by. And you make acceptance of, he continues, and adherence to their own particular theology the test of truth. So yeah, with that, you could say that the difference between truth, the opposite of truth is error. Well, actually, the opposite of truth is self, the natural man, the carnal man within each of us. So, and then he continues, and so are men divided against each other. Yeah, that reminds me of David Bohm. I believe I've shared it before, but he suggests that the only reason that there's a difference between nation and people and et cetera is because one person drew a line in the sand and said, okay, if you're on this side, then you act this way and you talk this way and walk this way. So someone had a thought and that drew the line of separation. But the reality is we're all part of one humanity, all sons and daughters of the Most High God. So I'll continue here. And so men are divided against each other, and there is ceaseless enmity and strife and unending sorrow and suffering. Reader, do you seek to realize the birth into truth? There's only one way. Let self die. That's the natural man, the carnal man within us. All those lusts, those appetites, desires, opinions, limited conceptions, and prejudices to which you may have hitherto so tenaciously clung, let them fall from you. And you can do that. One thing that James Allen doesn't cover very much in all of his books is he talks about taking accountability. He talks about taking ownership and perfect justice, and I love it. And he talks about the Savior. He talks about Buddha. He talks about Hinduism and Krishna, etc. But he doesn't talk about the atonement of Jesus Christ being an enabling power to help you with your accountability, to help you be more than you can on your own. And that's the beauty of emulating Christ and prospering, is that you can't do it on your own. You can make amazing strides. Just a minute, buddy. Yes, you can. You can make amazing strides, and you can do amazing things as a mortal. You can make a massive impact. My boys just brought in the mill. You can make a massive impact in the world by doing. I remember when I was a kid, there was a class that taught there's a movement. Where there's a will, there's a way, an A. Where there's a will, there's an A. So yeah, if you have what Napoleon Hill calls, auto-suggestion, and doing and feeding your mind, and what Joseph Murphy in The Power of the Subconscious Mind talks about he elaborates on this auto-suggestion that, yeah, you can command and yeah, you can attract these things. And those are all wonderful, powerful ideas and concepts. But the most powerful of them all is that through Jesus Christ, you can not only become those things and enlarge your thinking, but you can become more than you can on your own, because you're tapping into a power greater than, like it's the subconscious and conscious. Here they talk about the subconscious mind being similar to the power of God, but it is a higher form of godliness when you tap into his power by aligning your life to correct principles, and then you get, for lack of a better word, you get juiced up with it. So let's continue here with the quote. Reader, do you seek to realize the birth into truth? There's only one way. Let self die. We read that already. All those lusts, appetites, desires, opinions, limited conceptions, and prejudices to which you have hitherto so tenaciously clung, let them fall from you. Let them no longer hold you in bondage. And truth will be yours. Cease to look upon your own religion as superior to all others, and strive humbly to learn the supreme lesson of charity. That supreme lesson, that reminds me of a teaching in the Book of Mormon, that it says that all things must fail except charity, which is the pure love of Christ. And when you tap into this pure love of Christ, you have access to all power. And that's where he's coming from, is that when you learn to have charity, to love those that persecute you, to pray for those and serve those that are your enemies, and to be kind, to everyone, to love one another, and to be full of that love, that's when you become immovable. So then he concludes with today's quote: "To be in the world and yet not of the world is the highest perfection." So, yeah, I did spend a lot of time yesterday. I didn't get my blog entry in yesterday, but I did do update my my landing page to more relevant information to those that are that would like to work with me, because I'm turning my screen off. There we go. Because the reality is that you can access a automated system from many places and many sources, but one of the beautiful things about working with me is that we know that we're on the same page, in that we're disciples of Christ, striving to emulate him, striving to become like him, striving to do his works, and striving to serve other people. And if you'd like to work with me, then go to discipleslegacy.com and click on submit your name. And I've added a new bonus as well, which is a book. Was published originally in 1901. It was James Allen's first book. It's called From Poverty to Power. It's loaded with nuggets on how to turn your innards, for lack of a better word, turn your inner thoughts to higher, purer thoughts, and to transform from a poverty mentality to a prosperity mentality, to move from poverty to power. So looks like my boys need some attention today. I'm going to call it short. You all have a beautiful day. Discipleslegacy.com. Hit a comment on the YouTube channel from this live. I'll respond to you. Let's connect. Let's take life to the next level together. Thank you.